Because you know me, I like to keep it a buck. I like to hold out hope because the season is too quick. The off season is entirely too long. We talk about shoulda, woulda, coulda, maybe, maybe not, right? And I want to hold out as much hope as I possibly can when it comes to this team. With that being said, game plan for Hill and Waddle, just run fast. Yeah, man. We got to deal with both of them. You know what? The Detroit Lions did play Tyreek Hill back in 2019. It was a different team back then. It was a much different team back then. So, I don't know. At this point, man, should we be scared of anything? Probably not, because we should be scared of everything. But the Detroit Lions, as much as you want to write this season off, it's not over yet. And I'm not talking from a Kool-Aid fan perspective. I'm talking actual facts based on numerical data. Okay? I don't know who Numerica is. Numerical data. The Detroit Lions are not out of it yet. Okay? They can still do something when it comes to anything, wins this season. But you got to win games, right? You can't do anything without winning some games. Because if you keep losing, then it doesn't matter. Now, as the Detroit Lions fan that we all are, right? We are watching the games yesterday, right? We're seeing Aaron Rodgers get throttled by the New York Jets, who also, mind you, are in year 2 of a rebuild, right? When you say the Jets are in year 2, oh, what do you know? The Giants have a first-year head coach, and they got Daniel Jones as their quarterback. The receivers that they were throwing to, other than, who were they throwing to yesterday? Saquon Barkley. He didn't ball out yesterday, but they got the job done. Coaching, right? If our coach coached better, then we would have more wins. I can almost guarantee it. We win the Minnesota game. Maybe we get one more. Worst case scenario, we're 3-2. We're right in the thick of things. But that's what this segment is about. The Detroit Lions are right in the thick of things. Now you might be like, Grid, Derek, you crazy, man. How can you say they're right in the thick of things when they're 1-4? Well, because this has been, like I said before, the wonkiest, the absolute craziest NFL season that I can remember watching, right? Now, before Carolina's loss to the LA Rams, the Detroit Lions were the worst team in the NFC, the National Football Conference. The Detroit Lions were 16 out of 16 and a 1-4 record. The Carolina Panthers, with that loss to Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams, who Matthew Stafford threw a pick six, by the way. Love you, Matt. Threw a pick six, still wind up managing to win the game. I think he leads the league this year in interceptions. But that's a whole different topic for a whole different day. But why don't I feel the Detroit Lions season is over yet? Now, obviously, you got to win games, and we have to rely on teams to lose. Thursday night, Washington needed to win. Yesterday, we needed the Jets to win. We needed the Giants to lose. We're in week 6. Why are we even feeling like this? Because that's what we do. But the Detroit Lions are not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but they have to win games. And it starts this Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys. The Detroit Lions currently sit at 1-4. Okay, the division leaders are as follows. It is the Philadelphia Eagles, the Minnesota Vikings, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the San Francisco 49ers, even with the loss yesterday. Now, here's where things get sticky. The NFC East is looking to have 3 teams go to the playoffs. Who would have thought at the beginning of the 2022 season that the NFC least, nicknamed the NFC Beast now, would have 3 teams going, right? The 5, 6, and 7 are the New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Super Bowl champion LA Rams. Underneath them are the Green Bay Packers outside looking in, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, mind you, these teams I'm about to name are 3-3. Rams, Packers, Falcons, Seahawks. Shout out to the Seahawks. Okay, then we got the New Orleans Saints, the Washington Commanders, who have lost Carson Wentz for 4 to 6 weeks, the Arizona Cardinals, the Chicago Bears. The Detroit Lions have to win games. They have the 4th hardest schedule out of the next 6, the remaining schedule. They've got the 4th hardest. But if they can win games, which is a big if, I'm not picking them to win until they get to 500. But they can. They're not done yet. But it all starts with winning games. Now, keep in mind what I said. The 7th seeded Rams are 3-3 at this point. The Dallas Cowboys are the 6th seed at 4-2, and the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants are 5-1 outside as far as the division leaders go. One win can change this entire thing. If, and I know this is a big if, the Detroit Lions beat the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday, Cowboys will go to 4-3. Lions will be 2-4. They will then move up. Now remember, the Chicago Bears, the Arizona Cardinals, the Washington Commanders, and the New Orleans Saints all have 2 wins. And we've played 1 less game than them. Okay? When we play on Sunday, they will have played 7 games and we'll be at 6. So we get that win. They could very well have 5 losses. If that happens, the Detroit Lions could potentially, okay? Now, I think there's a couple of those teams that are off in week 7. They could jump the Bears, Cardinals, Commanders, and Saints. Speaking of that, let's see what the schedule is for week 7. This is what I do, y'all. I have to live like in these moments because the offseason is just much too long. So I have to look forward to something. Check this out. This Thursday, the Cardinals play the Saints. So those are one of the 2-4 teams that we mentioned. One of those teams will go to 3-4. The other one drops to 2-5. Lions win a game. They move up past that team, right? Falcons play the Bengals, but they're 3-3. Another 2-win NFC team. The Packers go to Washington and play the Commanders, who will be without Carson Wentz. All of a sudden, we beat them anyway. But if we can get that win, they're now 2-5. We're 2-4. They got 1 extra loss. We beat them. That's a game and a half. The Seattle Seahawks go into SoFi and play the LA Chargers. But they beat us anyway, right? And the Chicago Bears, Monday night, a week from today, go host or play the New England Patriots, who are on a 2-game winning streak with Bailey Zappi. So why do I not want to give up on the Detroit Lions? The team has to win because the NFL is crazy right now. There are 2 wins separating the Detroit Lions from the 7th playoff spot. Well, 2.5 if you count, right? We got 12 games left. Our next 4 games are the Dallas Cowboys, the Miami Dolphins at home, the Packers at home, and the Bears at Soldier Field. That's our next 4 games. If the Detroit Lions can go 2-2, they're 3-5. Right back in the middle. I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot of losses this week. A lot of losses. Okay? Now, I'm not picking them to win, and I'm not saying they're going to. But what I'm saying is they still have time to save their season.